Welcome back to another episode of the Men's Talk Show. I'm so excited you guys are here joining us today, viewing this show. It's Wayne, Duran, Chris. We're back in action after a couple of us missing the last week. And we got some exciting things we want to talk about today. First of all, I hope you guys are doing well and living healthy, safe lives. But what we're going to talk about today is how social media affects men's mental health, whether it be positive and negative. We got some personal stories we're going to share, and some for the bad, some for the good. I think overall, social media can be good if used in the right way, and let's discuss it. So I'm gonna send over to you, Duran. Let's see what you think. What do you think about social media?
Yeah, you know how we always start off with the negative side of things, but let's start off with the positive side of social media because no one never really talks about that aspect of it as much as they talk about the negative side of things. But I do think it is some benefits to talking, to actually being on social media that can actually help. Take for us, for instance, we're on social media and we use this as a positive platform to kind of connect with men around the world. Like, we could talk to people from Australia, we can talk to people from New Zealand. We're very diverse in, who we talk to, even just people in the United States as well, too. So we use this as a platform for, something positive, for men's mental health. That's the positive aspect. And then the other positive aspect is just like being able to grow your audience and connect to even a larger amount of people. We even have women that, follow us as well. I mean, that's not our main demographic, but they follow us as well. And, they share their stories and they're very positive and receptive of the things that we say about men's mental health because they, have husbands and, and
Oh
men.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I've had a few women who follow and they say, I want to send this to my son. I got a teenage son, or I wish, I could send this to my brother. So definitely, we're here for everybody. And if you're seeing this on TikTok or YouTube, whatever, you're on a social media platform, means you're turning in the right direction. You're using this for something positive, instead of just looking at things that just bring you down, which we're going to get into a little bit. So Chris, tell me what you feel.
Yeah, man, I think like Duran was saying, I'll just echo that the connections that you can create and make. I think I've created some of the best friendships over the years online, which is it's weird for me to think because I'm a very old school soul. Like I'm 40 years old and I came up in the old times where you had to go to your friend's house on your bike to meet, but it's a different thing to just be able to connect with people. And like I was telling you guys before the show, like when you record a video now, there's a potential to touch so many people. It's unbelievable how many people can watch a video that, just one dude in a farmer's field can make, and all of a sudden people show up. Like that's mind blowing to me that if you have the right voice and enough people see it, it'll just keep going and going and going and going and going. Like I've seen memes that come up, the regurgitated memes that come up 20, 25 years later, and everybody's like, "Oh man, you got to see this meme." You're like, "Wait a minute, I seen this like at least 10 years ago. What are you talking about?"
And it makes me feel old.
Yeah, it's like a lot of times it makes me feel old. I ain't gonna lie, man. It's there's so much potential for it to be a good thing, like micro learning. Dude, I've picked up so many tips and tricks about mental health and finding yourself as a human being, consciousness, meditating. TikTok's fucking wonderful for that, dude. There's so many people who just do like blessings, you know what I mean? They'll just come on with their crystals all decked out in their yogi gear and just give you a blessing. They're not asking for a fucking thing from you. They're
Yeah.
just there to help you have a better day. And man, I appreciate that shit so much, dude.
So
Like so
I've
much.
seen a lot of those videos. Like when I'm scrolling on our men's talk show page. If you want a good feeling, right? Make sure you follow, subscribe, and like our videos. We're all about the positive over here. But when I'm scrolling and like I see like There's some guy like is a couple guys who've done the same videos. The guy puts the beer down in front of the camera. It's like, boom, hey, let's have a talk. And he opens it to in front of the camera and sits there and it's like, how you doing today, man? I know it's been tough, right? Things are going to get better. I'm here for you, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like you just feel good, like you're almost there having a conversation with that guy, you know? So definitely understand what you're saying. Like people who are in there, he don't want nothing. He just like us, how we want to make guys feel better about themselves and erase those stigmas about men's mental health. These guys are trying to do the same thing, just posting a video out there, just trying to help one person at a time.
Another thing I really like, man, is finding like-minded individuals, people that resonate with you. Like it's really hard to find that in real life. You know what I mean? You interact with a very limited set of people on a day-to-day basis, and to find your people in that group is pretty fucking hard. But for me to post my crazy stuff on the internet and have those other crazies come back and be like, yeah, bro, I get that. Yes,
Oh,
thank
absolutely.
you. You know,
Yeah.
that resonance is huge, man. And validation that you're not crazy and you're fucking dealing with real emotions on a real level with the same way real other human beings are. That was something that was pretty mind-blowing to me as well.
Yeah, I do like the positive side of social media because, and it can also help, grow your business if you a small, channel and stuff like that. You know, a lot of people don't know you yet, but, as you get to build those connections and things like that, I think that, that it's a good chance that you can explode over like our TikTok. We got to 1,000 subscribers in less than 3 months, and not many people can say that, but that's pretty impressive because that means that we're putting out something positive into the world and not none of that garbage that you see with on social media.
Right.
But that's
We
the
got
negative
to
side of things.
we got to a thousand real viewers and subscribers, right? And we're not posting our ass out, right?
Yeah,
Boobs out, like twerk videos or just like slapping each other silly to pranks. Like we're
yeah.
posting real content that men and some women resonate with. And so that is more meaningful than going viral on a funny video with a million views. You know, to me that this is much more impactful.
Yeah, Wayne, maybe you can mention something about like like I know you do nutrition coaching as well. Has social media helped you there, like to reach more clients? I'm sure that's not the easiest thing to try to, cast that net out in your hometown or your home city and get a lot of fish in that net, right? But I'm sure social media has changed that for you in a lot of ways.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like I was the quick backstory, like I was a personal trainer first. And then like I realized like people don't really connect with that so much because they don't have the mentality and the mindset. So then I went into health coaching. And then all of a sudden social media, at the same time, social media started to really blow up. And you see so many health coaches on there. And that kind of gets into some of the gray zone because not all of them are certified health coaches. Some people just say they are and they're just, trying to get views or whatever. But it's definitely like if I go on my other social medias like IG or something, and I have a certain health coaching page where it's just all positivity, all other health coaches that I've connected with over a year, and it's just they all post good quality content to just help people. Like none of them are making money, none of them are blowing up with millions of subscribers. They all got a couple hundred, maybe 1,000 subscribers, and they're just consistently putting out good vibes, good health information to help people. Because that's generally all we want to do, and just make society better, you know. And we're not talking about politics, religion, things that just really um, uh, polarized people, right? We're talking about good stuff on there, and that's another thing what social media has brought to light. Um, so another one I like as well is the motivational videos. Like Steve Harvey always pops up on my TikTok, or some sports athlete always pops up on there saying like how they overcome these obstacles. I posted one video on our page about MMA fighter. Israel who lost a belt, who was a champion for a while, then he lost the belt and overcame that and beat the same guy that beat him. You know, so some of those things resonate with some people as well.
Yeah, and I like it. I like it when people come on there and be real with themselves. You know, when they're venting, it lets me know that I'm not alone in the world. You know, I like when people post, you know, their personal stories of what they're going through in life because no one's life is perfect. You know, we all go through a lot of shit in this life. This life is very hard at times. So I like those particular videos when they talk about their struggles and they're just not highlighting everything that's perfect with them. No one wants to hear about your life if it's perfect. They like the struggle and hearing you progress in life, you know.
Yeah, man, overcoming
So
obstacles, that's huge, right? That's like it's everything in life. That's literally what life is about, man. No matter how good or how sweet life is, there's gonna be something that comes in front of you. You're gonna have to be able to deal with it, man. And that's I'm just building my toolbox, my skill bank for all the things that I'm gonna deal with in life. But the enlightenment that I've gotten from people that are just adding value, like Wayne was saying, just giving value away to people. You know, I love that. I love that that's what we do. You know, there's no monetary gain for us here. We are here just having a chat because we know other people need to hear this shit. And that's wonderful, man. I think there's something special, and there's a whole breed of influencers and TikTokers in the over the next couple of years that are just going to change things unbelievably because the love is just going to wrap around the world and change everything. And it just you feel it, you know it's going to happen, dude. There's so much positive and so much love out there and so much um, knowledge about what's really going on and how you can really care for yourself and how you can really care for your family and financial freedom. You know, that's a big one from social media that I've seen people who could
oh yeah.
never imagine being fully set up in their life and have the most wonderful life from social media. You know, it's a
Yeah.
lot different for people in Canada, but man, I know some people down in the States that all they do is just make TikTok videos. That's their thing. They just talk to people every day and it pays them to live their life. That's crazy to me, man. Those people make better money than I do working fucking too many hours a year.
Yeah. So I wanna touch base on something you just said earlier though. It's like you know, there's a lot of good out there. And one quote that always sticks with me is how can you never appreciate the good without the bad in life, right? So how do you know if you have a good life if you've never been through the struggle? If everything is peaches and cream and and sugar and spice and everything nice, then you would never how do you know when you've been successful? How do you know when you've achieved something? You have to go through some type of struggle in order to appreciate the mountain that you've climbed and look back and be like, man, I came from way down there and now I'm here. And it may have gone like this, right? Just like the stock market. But over time, if you keep trying to apply yourself and grow your knowledge too, that's where some people fall off. They don't want to grow the knowledge. You have to grow your knowledge. Learning never stops.
Yeah, and that's
I'm
where
glad.
social media can be a positive influence because if you watch different, you know, tutorials on how to become financially free, you know, different meditation, you know, channels that, you know, clear your mind from all that, you know, junk that you might normally see. Those are just like even more positive things that, you know, a lot of people don't talk about, but they are there on YouTube. But I guess the algorithm doesn't push that stuff like it pushes
Well,
the negative things, you know.
let's talk about the algorithm real quick. So real quick, I learned in 2020, I found this on YouTube, this group, uh, I forget the name of them, but they taught me about stock markets and financial freedom, the FIRE movement, fire, financial independence, retire early. They taught me all this stuff during the pandemic. I'm watching videos. Now, like I'm not rich, but I learned how to manage my retirement portfolio, how to look at the stocks and understand what they're actually doing. understand the interest rates, how they're growing and things like that. Um, how to manage money. I learned all that from social media for free. And that was such a huge benefit. And it just popped out of nowhere, and I started to watch it. And I want to talk about the algorithm because the algorithm will show you what you want to see. And to sidetrack real quick, the U.S. politicians were saying, "Oh, all we see on social media is young girls in bikinis and underwear dancing around, blah blah blah." I've never seen young girls dancing around in underwear. Now, grown women stroll across every now and then. I mean, TikTok knows I'm a guy, but I've never seen like underage girls or young girls or teenage girls pop up on my TikTok. Never. I've never seen terrorist information or
Mm,
whatever pop up on my TikTok. Why? Because I'm not
wonder.
looking for it. I'm not looking for those things.
Yeah.
So when you look for it, it's going to keep showing it to you. When you look for positivity, that's what keeps showing up on my page because that's what I'm looking for.
That's one thing, man. You can really use that algorithm to like change your life in the craziest ways. Like you were saying, when you started looking at those stocks and things like that and watching those groups, I'm sure the algorithm picked up on that and just started filling your feed with that stuff. Like that's how my TikTok feed is, man. I don't think
Absolutely.
I've seen one negative video on TikTok, but that's because that's what I'm inputting is nothing but positivity. I'm only liking videos that are positive. I'm only following people who are genuine and authentic. And the feedback that I get, and like it's every day, man, I get new stuff that I've never seen before that changes the way that I navigate through this world. And it's fucking amazing to like, I wish you guys could have met me 10 years ago. I fucking wish, man. I wish so bad. And like those people who know me from back in the day, yeah, this is me now. It's much different person. And most of it's from social media and people that I've met through social media. So like we have a list of the negative effects of social media, but my God, is there a lot of good if you want there to be. You can be doom scrolling or stuck on dating apps for whoa, did you guys hear my voice just changed? I was
Yeah.
super growly and now it's clear. Dating apps, man. I'm gonna hit on that for a minute because that is something designed to keep you on those apps. So a lot of people get stuck in that, you know, swiping, right? And I'm telling you, man, those things, 90% of those girls, 90% of those guys on there are not real people. And unfortunately, it's designed to keep you there swiping. And that's a really tough place to be for a man. I'll tell you that right now, because there's not a lot of responses. There ain't a lot of answers to your messages. There's not a lot of girls up in your DMs because those women are searching for the top 2% men in the
Right.
world. You
And
ain't
you
one
got
of
to
them.
pay more to get the premium features. Which fortunate for me, I never had to be on dating apps because I've been married been with my wife for about 12 years or something like that. But yeah, you got to pay for the premium features to see who's looking at your profile, things like that. And yeah, like I said, the women are looking for the 6 foot guy. So me and Chris, you're already out,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And
I'm
then
out.
you got
And
to
they
I'm
pay
right
also
more,
want
there.
somebody physique and lean,
and you got to make over 6 figures.
But if you put one of those things on your dating profile, I would like a woman that's 5 foot and blonde hair, blue eyes, and likes to cook and likes to be a nice woman and doesn't
Misogynistic.
fucking show her ass on the internet. I want those things. You know how many messages that I get from women who are like, "How dare you? How dare you have standards like this?" And I'm like, I'm not trying to be cruel. It's my preference. Okay. Like, I don't like girls who are 275 pounds, not because I don't like big girls. Okay. It's because there's a logistics thing that doesn't work for a guy who's 120 pounds. Okay. I'm sorry. It's
yeah,
just
you
not
can't work
happening.
with that.
I've done it, dude. I've done my ex-wife is 300 pounds. It was just a phase of my life. But me right now,
Yeah,
I
leave
like
it to Duran
short,
because
tiny little girls,
since
little teeny
Duran's
tiny women. And it's not a good thing to go out there and post that on the internet. Like if I were to put that on my dating profile, I want these things. I want a girl who could cook, clean, likes to stay home, likes to be, the old school type of wife. Yeah, I wouldn't be getting any responses from women. Zero responses. Not some, but zero.
But I mean, it is some positive, aspects of, actually dating online, like, because you never know who you could meet potentially. So if you do want to go out to dinner and stuff like that, you can, you have to kind of like put your best foot forward too. It takes a little bit of commitment to go for filter all the junk out and then get to the right people that you really want to meet. But I've
Well,
had
and
some
lack of
success
rejection as
stories.
well.
I have had friends, that has success stories of dating online. So it can be possible. It just depends on who you attract.
Well, yeah, I have friends. I mean, I think at this point we all have friends who've met online with their significant other, and they're still doing strongly. It just takes out that immediate fear of rejection, right? If you're swiping, and you don't get any response, it's like, okay, you still don't have that really immediate rejection. Whereas that you're in the coffee shop and or at the gym, and you walk up to this girl and you're trying to start a conversation, and she's like, "No, I'm good." You get that immediate kick in the gut, like, oh man, like, and if that keeps happening over and over and over again, then that's a problem. Not as a problem with you, is that maybe you're going for the wrong one, but it has effect on your mental health when you keep getting rejected in front of somebody, versus when it's on a dating app.
And
Um,
some women have very shallow requirements, what they want out of a man. They have to be 6 foot, like Wayne was saying, or they have to be big and muscular, you know what I mean? Or they have to have a big, you know what I mean? They shadow like that. But then ever again, you meet some people that don't be that shadow and they say, I just want somebody that can provide for me, love me for me. It just depends.
well, that's
It's weird.
a,
Oh, go
a
ahead.
part of the perception of what they see in social media, right? They see, oh, there's a bunch of guys out here with 12 packs and make money. Yeah, they're called professional athletes, most of them, right?
Most of them are
And
douchebags.
then you get a
You know?
professional athlete, you got the good looks, he's got all the money, but then every single city he stops in, he's got another chick, right? Especially if he's new in the league and young. I mean, eh, he's got all the money, he's got girls everywhere. Now, if you go get an older sports athlete, maybe he done did all that already. Now he's like, okay, it's time to settle down. But real quick, I do want to kind of go over some of the negative just so we can address it because I feel like acknowledgement is the key to overachieving, overcoming challenges, right? So if you don't understand or if you're not knowing the negatives of social media, then how do you know that you are seeing negative? So let's address some of them so that way somebody can resonate like, oh man, maybe that is a problem that I'm having, and then they can address it. So one of them is fear of missing out, right? So you're scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, whatever, choose your social media, and you see the trips to the islands. Oh, he surprised me with a trip to the island on the weekend, or like the yachts, or they're in this country, that country, but you don't know how that person got there, right? Maybe they used their credit card. Maybe they took out a loan, which I know people have done, take out a loan to go on vacation, or maybe they saved up for 2 years and then spend all their savings on that. Or maybe they live at home with their parents and don't have to pay rent. Like you don't know the other side. Um, but people fall into that fear of missing out, like they're missing something in their life because they're not doing that at that certain point in time.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been a lot
I see that a lot. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's been a lot of times where I think that, people do things ill-gotten or illegally just to make it seem like they got money, especially those PPP loans. People was just buying, Bugattis
Oh
and
yeah.
all of that. And they was posting it on social media, making people feel less than that because they didn't have that. But they didn't know. A lot of people don't know that they got those PPPs. They falsified those documents and all of that. and that's how they got that money. But that money wasn't theirs, and now, yeah, I can tell you some things.
Yeah.
What
Chris,
was you
what
gonna
you
say, Chris?
Yeah, I was just I actually completely spaced out and forgot what I was gonna say now.
Okay.
All right, no worries. So we talked about fear of missing out, which goes into more. I talked about trips, but you got clothes, right? You know, same thing. Luxury brands, they have Louis Vuittons for men. I didn't even know that. That's a thing. So the red bottom shoes, they have those for men too. You know, and the luxury designers, the big chains or whatever. Like you feel like, man, I need to have that. I need to have that for success. As somebody that's had a luxury car, like I had two BMWs at one point. Well, I had one, then I traded in one and got another one when I was single. And the girls didn't flock, right? It wasn't like a music video where I'm walking to the club VIP, like, but it was me paying that $1,000 a month car note though, right? So after having that, like I would say, I'll never buy another luxury car again because my car, my Honda CRV is paid off, right? So I could use that money to save for my savings. So I don't have that fear of like of missing out with luxury things anymore. Once you had it, you realize like your life really doesn't change because you have those things. You're still missing something on the inside, which you haven't resolved. You just put a band-aid over it. So the
There's
next one,
there's this
yeah, go
whole
ahead.
thing of like uh, delayed gratification. That's how people actually get stuff. Nobody gets things instantly unless you come from money, man. It's just how it is. A lot of these trips are getting paid for by companies and sponsorships, or the clothing company that the person is sponsored by paid for them to have the trip so they can wear the clothes and take it on the beach and look good. And it's all bullshit, man. It's all bullshit. And you have to realize that when you're looking at it as face value for what it is. It's an advertisement for someone's lifestyle or a thing that they're wearing or a place that they're going. You don't think that those people are getting paid? This world operates on money and doing things, man. It's unfortunate that that's how it is, but these social media influencers, unfortunately, a lot of them are taking advantage of their viewers by saying that you can have this life too. A lot of the times you can't. And to like there's a um drop shipping. Let's talk about that one. Drop shipping, everyone's making millions off of drop shipping. You can save your life. You can have, $1,000 a week. Yeah. No, you can't.
Passive income is what they keep talking about. Passive income.
There ain't passive income in this world unless you have created that for yourself with your regular income. And Wayne, I'm sure you can talk about that, man, because I'm sure you went from the lifestyle that everybody else does, spending all of your money, to actually investing your money and using it in a wise way. And that is what's paid for your life and what's made your life very comfortable. It's not usually the hard work you put in, but the smart moves that you make with the hard work that you put in.
Yeah, there's no instant I love if you talked about drop shipping because I've seen that pop up too, and I'm like, hmm. And if I say, do you want passive income? It's not passive if you're actively doing it, right? Only passive income is, like you said, investing in something and it just sits there and grows by itself. Or if you are fortunate enough to have a business and then you franchise that business off and someone else is doing the work and then you're just collecting a check, that's passive income. But if you have a rental home because you see everybody doing it, or these multi-family apartment complexes that everybody's buying for $1 million and they're flipping it, and then people are living there. Guess what? That's not passive income. You're still actively having to make sure the maintenance is done, right? You had to do the work to rehab it. That's yeah. I can keep going on and on about that, but I want to talk about another thing. Kind of get back to our subject. Um, so we talked about fear of missing out. We also talked another one is body body what's the proper word? How you feel about your body,
Body
right?
dysmorphia. Yeah.
Yes, yes. We
Yeah.
see that a lot too. I was guilty of that at one point. Like, I used to be really skinny as well. I mean, I'm still skinny, but you see all you see on social media is because I watch a lot of sports. And so for when I started watching social media, sports athletes showed up and bodybuilder, whatever, is these guys with the light brown eyes, long hair, and just like muscles everywhere. And it's like, man, I wish I could have that. They live the good life, right? And then you start feeling worried about yourself when really like There's somebody for everybody. I tell you what, my wife doesn't like big, giant, 6 foot muscle bound guys. So she found me. Like literally, the kid, no shit. Like when we met and we were still kind of dating, there was this guy on the base that we were at. Everybody knew him, and he was like 6'3", 200 pounds, real chiseled. And he wanted her, and I was standing there one day like talking in the bar, and he go up to her and say, "Hey, why you with that guy? You can come over here and be with me, and I got all this." Lift his shirt up, and I was like about to walk on her, and she's like, "I don't want that." Like, first of all, she's like, well, first of all, he hoes around with everybody. Second, like, she's like, "I don't need that, right? That's all. Body doesn't last forever. What's inside counts." So I found a real one. But it's like that. You see what you see on social media constantly is what you feel like everybody is.
Yeah, and it creates this belief in your mind that you have to be just like them. You have to work out at the gym 5 days a week. Like the most I ever do is 2 or 3 days at the gym because I'm working full time. I don't have time to be in the gym all day long, 7 days a week. So what you see on social media is not a real representation of what they probably actually even be doing, you
Yeah,
know.
I can tell you from experience. Like I said, I was a personal trainer. Now I'm a health coach. I studied this in college. I've been in the military 19 plus years. Like I've seen it all. And what you see, like you said, people going to the gym, all things like that. There's guys in the military that do that. As soon as they get off work, they go to the gym for 3 hours. And I'll be like, man, I wish I could do that. But like, I got a family. Like, I can't go to the gym every single day,
Yeah,
right?
I wish I could have an addiction like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
and that's I don't mean to start an argument here, but there's a whole movement of people who think that going to the gym 6 days a week is like the perfect lifestyle.
That's
You know,
actually
someone that's
unhealthy.
living the best life. You know, I'm sorry, but you've got a weird image on how the world operates, man. If you think
yeah,
that your body image is the most important thing that you could be working on, your fitness is the most important thing you could be working on, how you look in a pair of gym shorts, man, there's so much more to life. There's so much more to life than 6 days a week smelling other people's sweat.
Yeah.
So
Fucking
so I
gross,
was
man. Go out there, get fit, exercise every day, do your thing. You don't have to go to the gym. That body image is yours, man. Love yourself for who you are, and other people's values and what you look like mean fucking nothing.
yeah, so like I said, there's somebody out there for everybody, right? Somebody will like you for the way you look. So since we're talking about a subject, the personal trainer in me, and we'll say, and this is on the trainer like exam when you get certified, 3 times a week, 150 minutes. That's what's recommended by all the fitness companies out there, by the federal government, by the U.S. federal government. 3 times a week, 150 minutes. However you do it. If you work out really fast, rigorously, I know a big thing is called HIIT workouts. If you do that, high intensity can go down a little bit. But if you just do 150 minutes and you break that down, that's really not that much over a week. Um, because one movie is usually about 90 minutes. You know, so that's what, and then you know, eating in moderation is the other one, right? That's the problem we definitely have in America is our portions are like is huge, right? So understanding your portion size is another part of that as well. And like so like Duran, Chris, you guys are right. You don't need to go to gym every day. Walk around your neighborhood, do that, eat moderation, and you are good. That's all you need to do to stay healthy.
Well,
But
and
that's
it's
the
one thing too.
perception on
Yeah,
social
right.
media that you have to do that in order to get this big body and
Well,
people,
there,
attract
there's a
all the
really
girls.
there's a really funny like table or graph that you could compare between people who go to the gym 5 days a week and what their mental health is like around their body image, and people who walk 3 days a week with a group of friends and what their mental health is like. And I am sure that those people's body image and their appreciation for self is much different because those people who are in the gym chiseling that physique, some people are doing it to train because they're athletes, and I understand that 100%. But there are people who are only there to look good for the opposite sex. And that does something to your brain when that's the only thing on your mind all the time is body image, body image, body image, body image, body image, body image. That 150 minutes a week they're recommending is more for your mental health because that affects your physical health. When you are mentally in a good place, your body takes care of itself. It heals itself. It maintains itself. It gives itself what it needs. Your cravings and your things that you need, your body is telling you those because it knows, right? Like I'm an avid faster. I only eat one meal a day, but I know exactly what I need to eat when I need to eat it. My body tells me because that's what I'll have cravings for carrots one day, just random ass out of the
That's,
blue. That's just what I
that's
need.
wild. I
You know
can't
what
I
I mean?
can't eat one time a day. Man, I eat like 6 times a day, but I eat healthier than
Yeah.
I did years ago.
Yeah.
And I don't really eat sweets and candy. We don't drink soda. So some of the main staples that really help to people, not help, but that make people gain weight. I don't really consume that so much. But anyway, keep going.
Well, yeah, there's a that 150 minutes, like I said, it's more for the way that you feel about yourself as a human being, right? And that's why that 150 minutes is recommended because when you go over that point, you actually start to go more into the body image portion of it and where you start to get really like self-conscious about everything that you're ingesting and everything that you're producing and everything that you're doing. It's all based on somebody else's perception. Whereas if you're in that 150 minutes, you almost don't think about it as exercise and your body's getting all the work that it needs to, but your mind is healing and doing all the things that it needs to. Right. And when your mind is healthy, your body is healthy. When your gut is healthy, your mind is healthy. So if you're not ingesting garbage all the time, right? And that's what most food, unfortunately, in this world nowadays, man, you read some of the labels of some of the stuff that you eat, it's kind of crazy. So when people ask me like, how can you only eat one meal a day? Because it's a ration portion of what my body needs. And I
Yeah.
used to fall for the parasites in my body that would be like, give me red meat every day. Give me this every day. I need sugar, like that's not me. That's not my body. Those are things inside of me or parasites inside of me. A lot of the food that we eat has parasites that make you crave things. And most people don't realize that. But if you detox yourself a little bit and you get some of those parasites out of you and you understand how your body actually operates, which again, I learned 90% from social media for free, right?
Yeah, I
You
don't buy anything without reading the labels and
Yeah,
understanding the labels. It's
yeah,
taken me a few years, but
yeah.
I understand what the labels are now, and I read the labels, and so what's in my pantry is changed drastically because I look at the labels and I'm like, okay, 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 Whole Foods. I don't need all these different chemicals and stuff in there no more. Like, even though they say it's safe, is it really safe though? Like, why don't we just eat? Why do we still need to enrich our bread? Why can't we just have regular bread? You know, that's where all this gluten just came from. Anyway, I'm getting off subject. Ryan, you got something?
Yeah, so is this TikTok, some of the TikTokers are be trying to say how much food they can eat in a day. And that's the negative side of social media. Like no one wants to watch you stuff your face and how much how much calories you intaking. But apparently that's the stuff that some people do get attracted to because that's, oh, I want to know how much he can eat today, or I want to know how much soda he can drink and stuff like that. That's the negative side of things. But to kind of
We,
wrap up things today,
I've
we
never seen that.
you never seen that?
You see my face, right? I'm like, that's a real thing. That's never showed up on my algorithm because I only look at
Yeah, it's
positive things.
real.
I only look at men's talk show videos. No, I'm
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah, when you back in the day, you just sometimes even when you're not following certain, celebrities or situations, things will pop up that's very negative for you. It just happens the way that's just the way the algorithm used to work back in the day, but now it's a little bit more controllable what you can,
Sometimes
consume.
and I understand that. Sometimes they just throw random things out there and like, hey, let's see if you like this. If you interact with it, you watch it, it'll show you more of that. if you like, nah, she had 12 sodas and she's still going, I don't want to watch that. Like, it won't show you again. It may show you one more, then you didn't interact with it, and that's it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
You gotta purify your feed every once in a while.
Yeah.
I've noticed
Absolutely.
that you'll notice, like, if you're not searching for things after a month or two on TikTok, it'll just throw you these random things like that. But if you search once a week for meditation, positive mental health, men's mental health, things like that, it will keep you flowing with positive shit. I noticed that when I first started using TikTok. I was like, oh, okay, I followed three people. Us, our show, I think one of my friends and some other, mental health coach. But the algorithm was like, oh, you like TikTok? Here you go. You might like this, you might like this, you might like this. But I would just not like those videos. And like Wayne said, don't interact with them. And it purified my feed to a point where it was like just all the things that I wanted to watch. And then I stopped searching for stuff. And then about 2 weeks into it, it started throwing out these weird little fishing lines of negativity again. And I would just, again, not interact with them, search for meditation, search for positivity, search for, men's mental health, coaching, things like that. And it just all of a sudden refix the algorithm and it would purify it for you. So there's a tip.
So let's wrap this up. It's been a great conversation. For those watching who are going to see on YouTube, thanks for watching. Those who are going to see on social media, the other social medias, thanks for liking the videos and following and subscribing. Um, like we said many times, we do this for you guys. We don't do this for monetization. We're not making any money here. We just want to help one man at a time. If that makes us feel better. Um, so yeah, we talked about social media. How can it affect you? If it's affecting you negatively, you can change it. You can go in there and say not interested in this type of video, right? But if you're seeing this video on TikTok, guess what? You're trending in the right direction. So keep liking our
Yeah.
videos so you can see more positivity. And with that, we'll see you next time. Have a good one.
Thank you guys. See you next time.